2. It's the same thing, except the bass drum is on the and of 2 instead of the and of 3. Let me get it right. It's 2 and 4. Okay. Okay, pretty easy. That's number 3.
2 and 4 on the snare drum. Where can you hear this drum beat? All right, the massive song is by the Police, Every Breath You Take. Another one that you can hear it in. Does anybody remember? This one is going to be a kind of a modification of the last one.
I was doing better. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. Doing better before I was filming myself. And before I was trying to be quiet. I have kind of the opposite problem that a lot of people seem to have. Like, I can't play it slow. I have to play it fast first, and then it's sloppy, and it might not be in time, but I can get it, and then I can slow it down.
So it's going to go. This four drum beat can be found in the song Imagine by John Lennon, and then also in the chorus of How You Repeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and.
Okay. 1 and 2. Is that not what I just played on the other time? 1 and 2 and 4. Okay, that's slightly different. It's so much easier, faster. Because if you play it slow, you have time to forget. Number 5 was the first one I had not seen yet. Okay, so boom, boom, check, boom, boom, check. Should be easy. I got it. Just got bored.
The 6th one is actually going to be a little bit easier, but for me it's deceptively hard because whenever we have 2 drums hitting together, that can be almost harder.
Okay, okay.
Hitting together, it's been doing them separately, and I find for a lot of beginner drummers, getting those unison notes to line up correctly is a lot harder than the others. So let's check this out. It's going to be 4 on the floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4 in the kick drum, 8 notes here on the hi-hat, 2 and 4 on the snare drum. Songs that you can hear this on, there's a slew of them. You can hear it on Uptown Funk, you can hear it on the song Get Lucky, Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, you can hear it on Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd.
Okay. I don't like a lot of those songs. What is it? It is harder. No, yeah, no. It's hard to play 4 on the floor all of a sudden. Don't know why. Because everything up to this point has been syncopated, meaning that there's a bass drum hitting on an offbeat, and everything here is just 1, 2, 3, 4. Stupidly hard. And I just don't want to hit it every single beat. Okay. You're just messing with my mind because of everything before it being syncopated, but it's not hard. Just gotta get off. Just gotta get that. And once you're tapping your foot on every beat like musicians normally do, you're fine.
This next one is a little bit more involved, not that much more, still attainable by you, still one that you can use because the concept of 2 snare hits on beat 2 is used in a lot of songs. You can find this particular drum beat off of Amy Winehouse's Rehab. Alright, so let's get this down. We have 8 notes here on the hi-hat. On the snare drum, instead of 2 and 4, we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and...
That's clearly not what he was playing. He must be counting both the snare and the hi-hat to get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... But that's completely pointless because it does not differentiate what he's doing here at all. And it is so interesting to learn drums by ear versus any other instrument, because all the other instruments basically you play 1 note at a time, or you play multiple notes at a time, but you hear them as harmonies rather than 2 separate different sounds. And you're like, oh, that's a chord, I recognize that chord, and therefore you still make it a single thing. You're like, that sounded like a major 7 chord. And so you're still like figuring it out, either based on the single note it sounds like, or the single chord it sounds like. You're not like, I think that was that and that at the same time, and maybe that over there too. Okay, so now I have to actually figure this out, unless I'm just an idiot, which,
And 2 and 3 and 4 and. In the kick drum, we have patterns that we have played all except for 1 note, the note on the and of 4. So it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1.
I think in theory, I was like, hey, if I only ever play by messing around and coming up with my own stuff, I'll come up with a bunch of really complex, really cool things. But like in reality, it causes me to avoid a lot of somewhat complex things that have a purpose and a use and that I would like to know. Because those like first beats, all of those I figured out. And then I figured out like weird stuff that's just like that's more like, I don't know, just like random rhythmic stuff. But some of these other beats, anyways, yeah, new territory here. I think it's all, and then it's one, always bass drum on the one. I've noticed that's a common pattern. Establish the downbeat, and then Amy Winehouse, why would you do this? Man, separating these motions by different parts of the body has not been my strength so far, and obviously I took the route of avoidance rather than practice. I am struggling, but I'm getting better. So it looks like maybe tomorrow I will also be working on this beat, and I will get it, and I will get better because of learning it. Now. It feels like if I go slower, it should become easier, but it does not become easier because I forget where I'm at when it's so slow. One, and two, and three, and four, and one, and two, and Cool, well that's good for today. In all seriousness though, I think there's a value in walking away before you've perfected something. Because that muscle memory takes time and you don't need to do it perfect. I mean, preferably you do get it perfect, but even if you're working towards it, I really believe that in the meantime, in the 24 hours before I do this again, something's going to happen while I sleep over the rest of the day, and this is going to sink down a little bit deeper in my brain. Those neural pathways will start to form, even just based on what I was intending to do and trying to do and focusing on, even though I did not achieve it all that well. And tomorrow, I'm gonna have faster progress from the point I leave off. Like I might not start even as good as I just ended, but the progress will happen faster than if I just kept struggling with it tonight. At least that's what I tell myself.